What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Miguel and you're watching Miguel EDC, the channel where we talk everything EDC gear here. Today we're doing a review on this knife right here on your screen, right? You probably already know what we're talking about here, what kind of knife we're discussing. And if not, hey, you're in for a treat because this is a very solid EDC knife here. Of course, we're talking about the Divo Knives Growler. This is the V2 or version 2 of the Growler. There's a version 1 that came out first. We're going to get into that, talk about that one a little bit, but this is a revised version 2. This one is rocking the Stormtrooper aesthetics. We're going to talk about that here in just a moment as well. Got a chance to unbox this knife about a little while ago, and I'm actually getting ready to send this knife back to Lefty EDC. I want to do a huge shout out to Kevin from Lefty EDC and his knife pass round for allowing me the opportunity to check out this knife and share with you guys, share this content with you all. I don't believe that this knife is actually available right now, but depending on when in the future you're watching this video, there's very likely that Divo Knives has done another drop. This one was exclusively dropped over at White Mountain Knives. They're all out of stock right now as of the recording of this video, but I'll be linking everything down below. So if it's stock or not in stock, check out those affiliate links down below for this knife and any other knife that you'll see in this video. Some of those affiliate links do help out the channel at absolutely zero extra cost to you, so that's highly appreciated. We're gonna get things started here without further ado with a quick size measurement on this bad boy. We're coming in at 7.5 inches, so that's that medium to large size knife right there. As far as the blade itself, we have about 3 1/4, and cutting edge we have a total of 3 1/4. All right. There we go. Actually, no, I lied. It's a little bit closer to 3.2. All right, 3.2 cutting edge right there, and the handle is going to be around 4 1/4 inches on the handle. All right, what do we have going on materials wise on this bad boy? Well, this one is rocking the Stormtrooper aesthetic, so we have white G10 going on here, contrasted with the black washed G10 going on here. As far as steels, we're working with 154 cm. And deployment options, we have the thumb deployment right there, as you can see, and the reverse flick as well. Now there's no flipper, no front flipper, right? Those are your 2 deployment options. That reverse flick is money, and that was one thing that they did revise with the V2, and the thumb deployment feels really good. This guy is a liner lock, and they executed this liner lock really good, right? The pressure on the liner is just right. You don't have to really sink your thumb into it in order to disengage, which is very appreciated. It's also jimped, and there's good access to that liner from this side, which is really good. So let's get some size comparisons out here just to kind of give you guys a ballpark. Let's do the usuals, the PM2 right there. So a little bit shorter than the PM2, probably more comparable to the Para 3, although, actually about a little bit larger than the Para 3, but definitely more comparable to the Para 3 than the PM2. Okay, let's check out some other ones here. We have the Demko AD 20.5 on the shark's foot blade, also very comparable to that one. The smaller brother, the Shark Cub on the slicer blade. All right, take a look there for you guys, be the judge. All right, we have the also popular CJRB Pyrite. All right, excellent EDC knife, by the way. Check out the review on either Pyrite. Here's the Pyrite Alt. So as a matter of fact, maybe a smidge larger, but about the same size as the Pyrites, as you can see. And as far as Divo knives, the only other Divo that I have is the Divo NIP. Right, check out the Divo NIP. I did an unboxing and a review coming up on this guy. It's definitely a small factor EDC, but man, oh man, is that a capable knife right there. And we'll toss in the Raccoon. So very comparable size there to the Raccoon. Okay, but again, this is just trying to give you guys a ballpark idea. So if you own any of those knives, you sort of understand the length of this knife here. Carry profile here against the Para 3. It's actually going to be about the same as the Para 3, and therefore the PM2 as well. Next to the Demko AD 20.5 and the gravity scales, the Demko is going to be a little bit thinner, and the NIP. All right, check out the NIP. The NIP is a little bit thicker, and that actually helps it because it is a smaller EDC, so the thickness there helps. All right, check out the unboxing and review on the NIP for more info on that. But yeah, we're talking about a very comfortable and a very good size EDC. Length and height here next to the Spyderco's. So it is going to be a little bit on the wider side as compared to something a little bit slimmer, right? But it's really not going to be anywhere near. What is it going to be? Yeah, I feel like the Spyderco's are still going to be a little bit, as a hair taller because of the Spidey hole, but very comparable. Also probably very comparable to the 80-20.5 and the Shark Cub. Do have a significant amount of edge that pops out of the handle themselves. Of course, the Pyrites are going to be a little bit slimmer, right? There's the Alt up here and the regular OG Pyrite. And last but not least, the Raccoon and the NIP. Nip it in the butt. There we go. I just had to insert a dad joke somewhere. Yeah, so definitely probably a little bit closer to the NIP, but you know, it's still sticking out a little bit more, a little bit taller. The Raccoon is a very slim design, but you know, just to give you an overall profile idea. So action on this thing is through the roof, right? This thing fires really, really well. The D10 on this thing is tuned to perfection. If you know anything about Lefty EDC, you know that he really likes a good detent, you know, really good tune detent. I feel like this one has just the right amount of tension. You can build enough momentum there to deploy with your thumb. Same with the reverse flick, build enough momentum to deploy as well. I'm not lefty in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just tossing it on my left hand here. And yeah, we can go to work, no problem. Thumb deployment here. My thumb, for some reason, is not very, my dexterity on my thumb is not the best, but I'm sure if I were a lefty or if you're a lefty, it will work really good. With the thumb deployment, of course, for my right hand, or my righty, it works really, really good. So it is indeed a very ambidextrous friendly knife. However you put it, it's going to be good deployment, execution, closing it really good for both lefties and righties. The pocket clip is nice and reversible too. They had lefties in mind, of course. Very deep pocket carry for the most part. Right, check that out. About that much. Very, that white tip, if anything, is what's going to be showing. And you can mount it on the other side as well. You have the pocket clip little lines going on this side too. Now, ergonomically speaking, right, this knife feels really, really good in the hand because, you know, I got the pocket clip right here, being the wire clip or paper clip style, if you will. Yeah, this thing feels really good. It sort of disappears in your hand, right? And what I love about this knife too, if you want a little bit more edge control, boom, you got that finger choil right there, and you can forward choke on this bad boy, and you can go to town, right? You can go to town. This one is a flat grind, extremely good slicer blade. This thing slices for days. And man, oh man, check out the jimping. They give you like a mile long jimping going on here throughout the entire spine. That is the way to go. All right there. Boom. Your thumb has good support right there. It's not sliding anywhere. Forward choke on this bad boy, bear down as hard as you want to, right? Get some work done. And this thing slices really good. We'll be doing some cutting tests towards later in the video, and you'll see that in action. But let's do a quick blade stock thickness here, really quick. This one is a very slim blade, as a matter of fact. That helps with the slicing. 0.12 inches on the blade there, and on the handle, the thickest portion is 0.45. So it's a very, you know, very narrow knife indeed, both in blade and on the handle as well. Makes it nice and good to carry. The weight department also feels really good on the weight. There's some milling going on with the liners inside. Those liners are nice and recessed all throughout. You got this very nice backspacer going on here too, right? So that's a G10 backspacer, I'm sure. And it got, again, the contrast going on with the black and white for that Stormtrooper aesthetic. And yes, milling going on those liners. I say this thing feels like a 3-ounce knife. All right, that is my guess, 3-ounce knife. All right, look at that, closer to 4, okay? 3.8 ounces, 3.8 ounces. You know, something like an Elementum is 2.8, you know, something like the Pyrite, 3.7. So yeah, pretty close to something like the Pyrite at 3.8 ounces. Doing a quick hardware check on this bad boy. My tools are highly recommended and linked down below. They're part of the Distributo tool set, and you get all kinds of, you know, drill bits and everything you need for all your DIY projects. I want to say they did the right thing. When I say they did the right thing and they put TA everywhere, right? Ooh, wait a second. Well, did I put the wrong thing in the wrong place? Of course I did. Since my last review video, I have put the T6 in the wrong place. But yes, here we go. TA bit, bam. TA right there all day, right? The pocket clip is TA. Body screws, those are TA. Boom. T8 on this side, everywhere. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so yeah, we're gonna talk about this because this is actually a very affordable knife, right? We're gonna talk about prices in just a moment. These come in at some very good prices, hence why they're all sold out right now as of the recording of this video. So hopefully, you know, based on that demand, Lefty EDC and Colin Mason Pier, by the way, those are the two halves of Divo Knives. They collaborated to create Divo Knives. So Lefty, Kevin Johnson, and Colin Mason Pier or Pierre. From Knife Designs. Hopefully they bring this back at some point because, man, this is a knife that I definitely missed out on picking one up earlier in the year when these were dropped. When these came out, I believe they came out on September 7th of 2023, if I'm not mistaken, based on the research that I did. And there were three different configurations going on. There was the black and white Stormtrooper aesthetics right here. There was the aluminum handle going on, which would have been my choice, me personally. Blue aluminum handle with a nice stonewash blade, spot on. And there was a carbon fiber version too, so if you are a carbon fiber fan, boom, that would have been perfect for you. Check out this other version of the Growler V2. So basically I got a chance to check out this version way in advance into the future as compared to when I got a chance to check out the Stormtrooper version. And this is a pretty premium version right here, 154 cm with the bead blasted sort of finish to it, you know, stone wash sort of bead blasted blade right there, and the carbon fiber scales with the stainless steel liners. Looks really, really nice. So I just want to showcase this one, right, since I've gotten a chance to check it out here in the future. This is me from the future, by the way. And yeah, I mean, the same action, everything is the same as the very first one that I got a chance to check out. So definitely loving it. I mean, they put so much thought into it. Ergonomically, it is a very, very friendly knife. Same deal here. Love the long jimping all the way to the front. It's a knife that feels really, really comfortable in hand. Kubi is the OEM here. Deep carry, pocket carry clip, which is reversible, right, which is nice. And the big hardware all around. So yeah, I'm gonna just add this into my Growler V2 review because I already reviewed this knife and I'm getting a chance to check this one out in the future, along with the Mash V2.5 and the Pony Stout premium version as well. So yeah, I mean, if Divo Knives is not on your radar, it definitely should, because they are definitely stepping up their game, offering some amazing models that you should definitely check out. And of course, let's not forget about the smallest one of them all, the NIP right there. So check out Divo Knives in general. I mean, they got some amazing EDC friendly and ergonomically friendly, extremely functional knives that, you know, very well thought out designs that you should definitely look into. And yeah, this one perhaps might be more your cup of tea as compared to that Stormtrooper black and white. I don't know. So you let me know in the comments, which one do you like more, the Stormtrooper or this carbon fiber with the purple accents, backspacer, pivot color, right? Let me know. This, as I mentioned earlier, is the V2 version of the Growler. Now, from my understanding, and you know, this is based on the research that I did, the OEM for the original Growler was the Shilden Knives OEM, and I believe there were some issues with perhaps you know, the quality of how it was delivered or what have you, and Divo Knives decided to move on with Kubi. So Kubi Knives is actually the OEM for the V2. So also there were some improvements from what I understand as far as the opening right here. The blade hole is actually a little bit smaller, so that allows for your middle finger here to not run as far down on the blade, and it just positions it in a perfect spot, for that reverse flick action. So that was a nice revision there from the version 1. And with the Kubi OEM, you get this nice pivot embossed. Let me see if I can get a good angle. There we go. All right, now we're talking. Get the light to hit it in the right place. Nice embossed, concaved in DK Donkey Kong, I'm just kidding, Divo Knives logo going on right there, which is perfect, and I just love that. Check it out right here, right? If you had gotten a different one like that aluminum one, it would have looked something like this one here on the Divo NIP, and man, that is quality stuff right there. Very similar to the Civivi knives and how they have their pivot logos as well, if you're familiar with that. All right, there's a very in-depth disassembly video if you want to check it out from Lefty himself. He took the time to, you know, take apart the knife, show you everything that's inside. This guy, of course, is on ball bearings, so the drop shot action is, man, money. And again, that liner lock, you know, with a little bit of a push, you don't have to do anything crazy, right? Just a little bit of a push, and bam, a little bit of a shake or a little bit of that, and you are in business. This is a very fidgety knife, of course, and man, this thing is tuned really, really good. So check out the disassembly video from Lefty if you want to go into more detail. It is in 154 cm steel, which I hadn't up until this point experienced too much in the channel. So I did some research. 154 cm is actually a tad bit slightly above your D2 steel, right? Which is very common on most like budget knives, like this Elementum right here is on D2. Something like Nitro V, right? Like on this Vision FG, this one's on Nitro V. Very common, you know, or preferable 14C28N. So yeah, that 154 cm is going to be a tad bit higher in that mid-gray, solid mid-gray steel. You know, so it's not necessarily like premium, like higher, like, you know, let's say S45VN or, you know, S90V or 20CV or nothing like that, but it's going to be slightly above D2 and those other steels in that mid-grade category. And some people say, you know, don't quote me on this, right? You may have a different experience, you personally, or let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with this next statement. But some people say that it is actually better than CPM 154. It actually holds an edge longer than CPM 154. Is that true? I don't know. You guys tell me in the comments. Let me know what you think, if that is true or not. Now, again, just a quick disclaimer, I'm not a knife steel expert. I always recommend Knife Steel Nerds here on YouTube and on their website for a more detailed breakdown of any sort of different steel. If you really want to get into it, there's so much to learn about different steels, you guys. I'm barely scratching the surface myself, and you may be as well. So Knife Steel Nerds, that is my recommendation right there. That jimping is very nice and functional all the way through, right? Very EMP EDC style, like the ones that we saw in the Ronin or the Nimble X V2. I love when, you know, knives put, you know, a long jimp like that on their blades, like on this Demko AD 20.5. You know, it really lets you, right, once you sink your thumb in there, you know that blade isn't going anywhere. If you walk into the Vaseline factory, like Nick Chavaz will say, this is one that, you know, is going to be on your hand regardless, right? Even if you have butterfingers, I have a bad case of butterfingers myself, and I find myself getting a really good grip, and again, very comfortable grip, honestly, because the ergonomics are just so good on this knife. They're really, really good. Love the fact that you have a finger choil option right here. Your plunge grind isn't until like way over here, so you definitely have a lot of sharpening that you can do without getting a smile on this bad boy. All right, which is nice. A nice little chamfer portion right here towards the tip. That's something that wasn't on the version 1 of the Growler, from what I understand. And man, oh man, like I'll tell you, you guys are gonna be shocked once I tell you how much this comes in for. Before I tell you that, I will say that honestly, thinking about anything as far as a con for this knife was a little bit difficult. If anything, my con, here we go, I just thought of one right now. The only thing that would be a con for this knife, honestly, is the fact that, you know, they haven't made more, right? You know, Lefty, Kevin, Colin, you guys are watching this video, you all need to make more of this knife. This was definitely a hit. People really enjoyed these, and these were dropping the White Mountain Knives exclusive. I do have a discount code for 10% whenever you purchase anything through White Mountain Knives. Just do Miguel EDC for a 10% discount. Again, that's all linked down there in the description, so check those affiliate links. This guy is not currently in stock, and it really should be, because I'm sure this thing will continue to sell even more and more. So the other thing I would say is probably me personally, the black stonewash blade wouldn't be my option. You know, it just never wears off the nicest over time. You know, you do have the most steel protection because it is coated, so you have some corrosion resistance there going on with that black coat or black wash aesthetics, but it just doesn't really wear off the best. You can see all the different streaks of different cuts left and right and things like that. That's been my experience with other black wash knives like this Civivi Elementum here, you know, with this black wash going on, you know, so that's always going to be the case. If that's not an issue, if that's not an issue for you, you might be just fine. But me personally, I would always try to go for a, you know, satin finish or, you know, anything like that, stone wash if I can help it. But that's not to say that, you know, if you like stone wash, black stone wash finishes like this one, you know, I would definitely still highly recommend this guy. But yeah, that's really my only issue with the knife, is the fact that it's not available right now. I really would have wanted to pick one up myself. Again, the aluminum version would have been my pick for sure. This guy has a lot going for it, you know, not really anything else negative that I can think of right now. Ambidextrous friendly, reversible pocket clip. Right, and get this, right, when these were in stock, and hopefully they are in stock here very soon, this one came in at $99. $99 before that 10% discount. And then I believe the other two options, the carbon fiber and the aluminum, those were about $10 more at $109 or so, which still is a pretty good, you know, deal for this type of knife. Very functional blade, a good slicer, and, you know, the price really also does the part as well. That being said, let's get some paper cutting test going on here. This is not a brand new out of the box edge by any stretch of the imagination, so do keep that in mind. And do rate it in the comments from 1 through 10. How sharp is this guy, or how much of an edge it has retained? Here we go. Let's see. All right. There we go. Now keep in mind, you are working with the belly here, so any cuts like on a wooden surface or what have you, right? If you're doing any type of rolling cuts like that, this one's going to come in handy, very much so. This is sort of like a drop point style blade with definitely a significant amount of belly, for sure. And it will slice. That paper will be cut. So excellent EDC for everyday use. You know, I wouldn't recommend it to be, you know, kind of like your bushcrafting knife or anything crazy like that, or any hardcore use of a knife, but for everyday tasks, boom, this thing is going to perform. Let's do some cardboard as well. Remember, we're cutting cardboard, don't cut perpendicular like this, but at an angle like that. And let's see how it does. Yeah, I remember this thing being a solid cardboard cutter. Check this out. Those slices are nice and clean. It definitely cuts and slices that cardboard like nobody's business. All right, check that out. Boom. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the Divo Growler V2, right, on the Stormtrooper aesthetics. You know, G10 with the black wash blade going on there, 154 cm. One of 3 different variants that were dropped on White Mountain Knives from Divo Knives. Again, you know, lefty. Colin, if you guys are watching this video right now, this is a hit. This is definitely a hit, and you guys need to bring them back like ASAP, right? Definitely do another drop. We want to see more of these knives. I personally want to pick me up one as well at some point. Right now, actually, check out the Divo Knives website and you can use code Miguel EDC for 10% off on the Divo Knives website. They have the Divo Buzz, B-U-Z-Z, and that one is an awesome Warncliffe sheep's foot style blade. So I'm really looking into that one as well, with more premium materials going on that one for sure. So check that one out as well on the website. But yes, I'm really hoping that they have these in stock in the very near future, because it is just a very solid EDC knife. If I haven't already proved my point throughout this entire video. But that's it for the review video. Let me know what other questions you may have down below. Let's hang out down there. Let me know anything you want to know about this knife, because I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have about this knife. If you haven't already, smash that like button, because it is free and it will really help out the channel grow and reach a larger audience. Also, on your way out, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. If you enjoy this content, I make knife content like this on a daily basis, so make sure to subscribe. If you want to support the channel a step further, go ahead and check out the Patreon link down there, where you can support the channel for as little as $1 a month. Guys, if you made it to the very end, you guys are the real MVPs. I really love you all and appreciate all of your support. chances are the review for this beast of an EDC knife right here, the Microtech Stitch, is ready to go on the channel as well. Check it out. I'm gonna put a card for that video right here. Thank you all for your support. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.